Well, Fort McCoy played an important role in preparing troops for deployment overseas.
But its role changed 2 years ago as the U.S. began drawing down the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's not stopping it from constructing a multi-million-dollar central issue facility that will play a large role in paving the future of the fort. News 8's Carrie Vick joins us with the story.
Mark and Lisa, it's a more than $9 million project to build a brand new central issue facility at Fort McCoy. At the CIF, soldiers will be able to get any gear they need. It will primarily serve Army Reserve units from across the country. A strategic plan to keep the fort a training destination during an active wartime or not.
It has a lot of history, is a nice way of explaining what shape Fort McCoy's central issue facility is in.
We've had water coming through before.
Built in the 1940s, Tom Lovegren, CIF property book officer, says it's seen its better days.
Some of the forklifts, I'll show you when we go down, they've actually fell through.
And while CIFs would usually be shut down after the base is no longer preparing troops for deployment, Fort McCoy is getting a brand new, more than $9 million facility, making it an attractive destination for Army Reserve troops from across the country.
If you take a look in the United States, the closest place where there's an active duty CIF is in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, or Fort Knox, Kentucky. That's the closest ones that these soldiers have.
While we have, we like to say world-class training facilities, but now this is something that may just put some units over the edge to come to Fort McCoy, because if they need to receive their equipment, their new uniforms, they can get them here while at Fort McCoy doing their trainings.
It's all about getting them taken care of as accurately, courteously, and efficient as we can to get them back out to do the training that they need to do, because that's what they're here for. They're here for training.
Lovegren says they had plenty of input into the new design, making sure to take into account every detail.
So I said, no, I don't want that, because in January you don't want your soldiers sitting outside waiting outside. I said, give me the square footage in here. Back here we have a humidity controlled area for our body armor and our ballistic plates,
which will work to ensure no matter what the future holds, Fort McCoy will have a place in it.
You got to plan for the future as far as what's going on, and we have to be viable. That's part of our selling point. Not only great training, but you can get equipment, you can take it back home with you for your training back home with you.
The property book officer says even before the new facility is built, he's expecting the amount of gear they're issuing to go back up to about where it was a few years ago when the fort was mobilizing troops. He says that's because they're continuing to market their facility to reserve troops from across the country.
Thank you, Carrie. Construction will start in a month on the new facility. Fort McCoy expects it to be completed at the beginning of 2015.